Hi, boys and girls. Let's talk about young authors. So, young authors is coming up, and everyone, yes, you, I'm talking to you, everyone in my class must write a book by yourself at home. So, Mrs. Junkie, can I use a book that I already wrote? No, write a new book. This is the time for you to be creative and come up with a fun idea for a book, but I want it to be something that you're excited about. So come up with an idea that you like that you want to write about. So I'm going to show you some examples of books that my daughters have written in the past to see if I can kind of get your ideas flowing. Girls kind of have different writing styles. Vivian, all of her young authors books have always been nonfiction. This is her kindergarten book, My First Vacation. So this is a small moment in her life when we went on a vacation to Florida. So the whole book, you can see she has had a blank book just like the one that you got at school. And she wrote a title page, and she talked about where she went on vacation. She did a mixture of um, pictures she drew and photographs that we took. So some pages have her pictures, and again, some are photos, but it's all just about some of the different things we did on vacation. Then she did a book that was nonfiction, and it is just about her life. It's different aspects of her life. Any of you could write a book about your life. You're the experts on your own life. Here she used some text features since she's in first grade, getting a little older. She did a table of contents, and this one was a bulleted list. Here is a how-to do a specific drawing, and she did type it. You can write it or type it. Here are labeled pictures, the places she likes to go. So as you can see, it's again a mixture of pictures and drawings, and she did an about the author page. All right, then the next year, second grade, this was COVID when everything shut down, she did a book about slime. Again, nonfiction, because that's just Vivian's style. So table of contents again. And we did ingredients, so we did some pictures, how to make slime. So we did step-by-step pictures. You're welcome to take pictures if that's something you'd like to do. Here she actually taped in add-ins of things that you could put in slime. It's the real thing. Did a list, so that was pretty cool. And then the one she did last year was all about my experience during COVID-19. So just kind of, I thought this was a good idea because it's almost like when she's older and maybe hopefully COVID-19 won't be a thing anymore, she can look back and see like what it was like for her then. So typed, and she decided to pick cursive since this is third grade when she learned cursive. And so she talked about the day that we had to go home, that everything closed, what it was like being at home all the time, changes for when it really got serious. She says changes for when it hit big, how we adopted a puppy. So just all about her life. Every single book she's written has been nonfiction. And then there's Savannah. She's more creative. Not that Vivian isn't, but she's more like la-di-da and likes to make make-believe things. So her kindergarten book was called The Land of Fairies. Again, same kind of book like what you got. And she made up this whole story about these fairies who live in a fairy house, and this is the fairy boss, and her name is Rose, and she was typing on her computer, and they had to get out their spell books, and just this whole world that she created. And then she decided last year as a first grader to come up with part 2, The Land of Fairies 2. So if that's something, if you've written a book in the past and you're like, I'm going to do the sequel to that to make it a series, awesome, go for it. So then last year she wrote another book. This time she used a mixture of stickers and coloring, where these goblins came and they had to somehow get rid of the goblins so they'd be safe again. So both of the girls series were awesome. Savannah's, I believe this one won first place, and then Vivian's, the slime one, I believe won first place. Another one did too. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's because they took their time. They worked hard. Now, I did help them a little, but I only helped them with spelling and The big part I helped them with was mapping out their ideas. And that's what we talked about in class. We did this together where instead of just opening up my book and starting my story, I came up with an idea. Okay, I want to write about fairies like Savannah's. And then I started mapping out my ideas. First page, I'm going to introduce the fairies. Second page, I'm going to talk about the characters, setting, the wand factory. I'll tell them all about the wand factory. Then we're going to have a problem happen. The machine breaks, and we're going to make it even worse. Now they have to go through the troll territory to get it fixed. And then number 5 is they're going to lose their survival glitter that they needed to trade for their machine parts. And then they have to cross a lava bridge, and then they run into trolls. And so now I haven't gone farther than this, but let me finish mapping it out. I'll be right back. All right, I'm done. You ready for the ending? So after they run into the trolls, they're going to have a giant battle scene, but the fairies are going to win. Oh, I spelled win wrong. W-W-I-N. That's like a multiple meaning word. Kind of. It's spelled differently. And then they're going to turn the trolls into bunny rabbits. That's how they won. And then they'll return with the machine parts. So this is just a map of my story. And so now when I'm going to go write it, I'm going to be a lot more specific. So I'm going to introduce the fairies kind of more in the way like Savannah did in her book, where it says, Rose was checking the fairies. She's 26. She's helping the fairies work at the wand factory. So she introduced the fairy Rose and the wand factory. Okay, so more than just introduce fairies. But I don't want you to start writing unless you really feel motivated to. Just map out your story, just like this, okay? And then the next time you work on your young author's book, which might be the next day, tomorrow, then you can actually start writing the story. But if you can get your map written out today, you'll be in really good shape, all right? So get to work, and like my little sign behind me says, don't stop until you're proud. Get busy.